Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Do you notice how you automatically like certain people because they cause you to feel good? Doesn't it make sense then that when you cause other people to feel good, they're going to like you even more? When you move into a positive vibrational energy, everything around you seems to turn more positive, to become easier. When you say things to yourself like, this is simple, this is easy, this is fun, when you're facing a challenge, at first you know it's a lie. At first it's irritating. You have something really challenging that you're facing, hard work, a difficult job, a big challenge, or what you perceive as a terribly negative situation. And when you go into it with the faith that everything is working out for the greater good, and you might say, this is simple, this is easy, this is fun. And then you realize the words that you're saying, this is simple, this is easy, this is fun. This is simple, this is easy, this is fun. It could put a smile on your face. I used to do that when I was working in an insurance company, and I would be worried about the stack of work that I had ahead of me. I'd be worried about the next phone call that was coming in. I'd be worried about the stress of the day and what terrible messages I was going to get on my answering machine, or what demands were going to be made by some of the clients, people who were hurt, who were injured, who were struggling. And because it was an insurance company, that I would feel like they were taking it out on me personally when they called in. And that was a terrible vibration. And if I went in, first of all, saying, this is simple, this is easy, this is fun, it changed my attitude. It changed the energetic vibration that my body was in. It allowed me to walk lighter, to feel at ease, to be able to have the strength to take on the day and to allow things to be easy, simple, even fun, funny, and sometimes. The vibration that you're in controls the body, the mind, and the soul of every person. Every person you meet is vibrating in a certain energetic frequency. You know when someone is angry, you don't have to ask them. In fact, if you say, what's wrong? You might get a nothing kind of answer. You can tell. You don't have to ask. You can feel that energy. Well, people can feel your energetic vibration. People can feel when you are jealous, judgmental, angry. They can also feel when you're happy, light, at ease, loving, caring. You want to be around people who are lighter, happier, loving, more energetic and enthusiastic about life. Just as the way I'm saying this, you can tell the difference. And words have energy. You can tell the energetic vibration of love, peace, joy, totally opposite than other words that you might be thinking, feeling, talking about, hearing. What energetic vibration do you want to be in this morning as you tackle your day, as you go to work, as you face challenges? When you can get into a vibrational control of your body, mind, and spirit, that restores your positive vibrations, that there's a medium of resonant electric waves of your brain cells, and you can send messages to another person telepathically. You can send love. In fact, my mentor, Bob Proctor, told his business partner, Sandy Gallagher, that that's how you change your day. That's how you change your life. That's how you bring in more good into your own life, is sit calmly, sit still, get into a feeling of profound gratitude. Write down 10 things that you are grateful for. As you write, you start to think. As you write down what it is that you want and feel as if it's already there, but start out with grabbing a pen and paper and writing down what you're grateful for. I am so happy and grateful now that. You can start out with something simple. What are you happy about this morning? What are you grateful for? Maybe it's a hot cup of coffee. Maybe the traffic is flowing on your way to work. You woke up. You woke up in a comfortable bed. You have shelter, you have food, you have clothing, you have all the basic necessities. Maybe you can be thankful for a job that you're going to, even if it's not ideal. Be grateful that you have a paycheck. Be grateful that you have the means to earn a living, or be grateful that you are creating the business that you want. Can you list 10 things that will put you into a state of being grateful? And then Bob Proctor told Sandy Gallagher, when you are in that state of being grateful, you're feeling lighter, you're feeling happier, you're feeling more loving, you're vibrating in a higher energetic vibration, then send love to 3 people who are bothering you. Now, that might instantly take you in the other direction, but if you practice this, and yes, limit it to 3 people, you might have a whole list of people that you're angry with, but just for a fleeting moment, bring a person into your mind that's bothering you, who's angered you or hurt you, and just send a blessing their way. Send them off to a better day for themselves and for you to have a better day for yourself. And as you practice doing this, your energy starts to vibrate differently, and that causes a ripple in the universe. If you don't have anyone that's bothering you, don't make it up. Just allow yourself to be in that energetic vibration of sending blessings, sending love to 3 people who bother you, and then let them go. Don't hang on to them. And if there's no one bothering you but yourself, maybe you give yourself grace. You give yourself love. And then sit quietly for 5 minutes and ask for guidance for the day. If you practice this every day, your life will change dramatically because you'll be in a higher vibrational energy. You'll be sending off the energetic vibration of light and love and peace, And I promise you, your day will start to flow more easily, more effortlessly. Things that bothered you in the past will just fall away. So, what Bob Proctor told Sandy Gallagher, write down 10 things that you're grateful for. Why 10? Because sometimes it takes sitting still and actually counting 10 things that you're grateful for and writing them down to change your energetic vibration, to actually get into that feeling, throwing off a wave of electronic energy which moves out into the world, flowing, creating a bigger energy, reminding yourself there are so many things to be grateful for. And then as you send love to 3 people who bother you, just momentarily allow them to pass through your mind, send them off to their greater good and you to yours. And then sit quietly for 5 minutes, asking for guidance for the day. There is a law of perpetual transmutation of energy. If you are in a higher vibrational energy, if you're in a better mood, if you're filled with enthusiasm, love, peace, that will emanate from you, that will radiate from you, that will touch other people. The process of transmitting energy between you and another person is exactly the same process that takes place between a broadcasting station and a radio. Every physical thing throws off a vibration. Everything that you see, hear, smell, taste, or touch throws off a vibration because everything is in a constant state of motion. When you're sending out, when you are filled up with energetic vibrations of what you desire, peace, fulfillment, prosperity, love, your life will be more enjoyable. It will be filled with blessings. And when you notice them, you feel better and you send off better and better vibes. When you hold on to things that bother you, it only hurts you. I don't know if you heard the story of 2 monks that were going on a long trek. And as they came to a river they needed to cross, there was a woman standing there, and she was distraught because she couldn't get across the river, and she had to cross the river in order to feed her children. She needed to get home to her kids. The monks had taken a vow to never touch a woman, but she was in distress and obviously needed help. So one of the monks picked her up and carried her across the river and set her down on the other side. And the 2 men continued on. They walked and they walked and they walked. They spent a night camping. The next day, they woke up and walked all day. So after 2 days, the other monk said, I can't believe that you picked up that woman and carried her across the river. And the monk who did carry the woman said, I picked her up and took her across the river and helped her get back to her children, and then I let her go. You've been carrying her for 2 days. What are you carrying that you need to let go of? Set down that baggage, that trunk full of worries, that anger, resentment, judgment, worry, and doubt. Set it down. You might even pretend that you're on a hike and you're carrying a heavy backpack and you set it down along the side of a river. And then instead of carrying all that weight, all that worry, all that negative anger and worry and judgment, throw it in the river and watch it wash away. Allow it to be carried away. Allow it to be released. Whatever happened to you in the past, let go of it. If it's not helping you, if it's not moving you forward, if it's not taking you in the direction of health, vitality, happiness, joy, fulfillment, why would you need to hang on to anger and resentment? It's not doing you any good. And the vibrational energy of negative feelings attracts to you more like energy. Like attracts like. If you just remember that, like attracts like. If you're not feeling great, you might trace it back to, what have I been thinking about? What am I worried about? You can take another sheet of paper and write down your worries, your fears, your doubts. What have you been thinking about that's hurting you, that's causing you a negative vibration? And then take that piece of paper and shred it, rip it up, throw it away. You might even hold a ceremony and burn it in your kitchen sink or in a campfire. It feels so good to release that negative energy. When you write it down, that's another thing that Bob Proctor taught me. Write it out, get it outside of you. As you write, you can put down everything just as if you're telling your best friend how horrible things are. And when you get it, if you're still feeling angry or resentful or sad, keep writing. Get it all out onto a piece of paper. And then burn it or shred it. That can provide a momentary release. When you get it all out of you, you don't have to tell everybody your problems. You don't have to hold on to it. You don't have to think about it. This sounds maybe kind of silly if you've never heard of it before, but it's a psychological release. As you release that negative energy, you can allow yourself to think about what you do want, to write down a situation, a circumstance, a condition that you do want, and then how would that feel? How would it feel to have your dream come true? How would it feel if you had all the time and all the money you needed to live life the way you would choose? You're not dreaming about a bag of money. If you won the lottery, you wouldn't be thinking about how much 50 or 70 million dollars looked like. You would be spending it in your mind. You would be thinking about all the wonderful things you would do with it. Would you buy houses for your family? Would you house the homeless? Would you go on a luxury cruise, a trip around the world? How would you bless your family and friends? Would you start a scholarship, a bursary? Would you leave a financial legacy? Well, What about a personal legacy? What would people say that you did for them? How did you change their life? It's not about the money, it's about what good can you do for the world? How would you change your life if you could afford all the things that you wanted? What kind of gifts would you provide to your loved ones? You can change your energetic frequency in an instant by thinking about how wonderful life would be if you were happy, if you were prosperous, if you were healthy. And as you get into the feeling, if you don't know what that would feel like, think of a time in your life that you truly did feel abundantly blessed. Maybe it was as a kid, and you woke up Christmas morning and your favorite toy was there, and you were surrounded by all your relatives who loved you, and you were safe. You were happy. You might have to go back a ways, or you might just be purposefully thinking about being relaxed and calm and happy. That will send a wave of energy flooding through your being. When you tap into the energy of gratitude, you connect to the highest energetic vibration. Maybe you say a prayer thanking God. Maybe that doesn't work for you. Maybe you just think about universal energy, and what if you could feel the happiest? Remember a day when you were proud and excited, enthusiastic, happy, and you just wanted to burst with enthusiasm. When you change your energy, your whole day will change. When you're more enthusiastic, even about small tasks, something that you've done over and over every day, and it might be a boring routine, now you pay attention that you have the ability to do this. You have the ability to put your best foot forward, to do that meaningless task with meaning, with attention, with intention, being grateful that you have something to do, you have a purpose. Everything is energy. A lower vibrational energy is physical matter. So when you start to imagine, visualize, envision a beautiful idea, maybe it's just a concept right now, something that you really want, and it gets you all excited. That's what you would love. Your brain your brain cells start to vibrate and they throw off a wave of electronic energy, and that moves out seeking a place to land. Bob Proctor says if you are in a space of another person's vibration and you happen to have similar cells which are in rapport, in harmony, or in agreement with the ones vibrating in the other person's brain, then you receive these vibrations. You're mentally affected by them. It could be positively or negatively. If you are in a great vibrational energy and you're sending out waves into the invisible universe, you will attract to you people who are in harmony with you. You attract ideas. And as you take action on those ideas, you start to do things differently. You start to feel better. You start to do better, and better things come to you. What vibrational energy do you want to attract? You must first be that. Become a mental magnet. Attract what you need for the physical manifestation of the beautiful image that you hold in your mind. Energy or spirit is neither created nor destroyed, and everything in its original state is energy or spirit. So everything that you will ever want is already here. It is simply a matter of choosing the thoughts which will put you into harmonious vibration with the good that you desire. Everything you are seeking is seeking you in return. Everything you want is already yours. You don't have to get anything. You must simply become more aware of the energy that you're putting out. The energetic vibration that you're in is attracting everything that's in harmony with how you're thinking and feeling. So today, get into the feeling. This is simple, this is easy, this is fun, and create a beautiful day. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7. And for my clients, we'll meet back here at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time to talk about how to lead your own life and allow others to lead theirs. Thank you.